Hi everyone, welcome back to another What I Fix Daily. So today for our fix, got ourselves a A1466. These are good old MacBook Airs. I really do enjoy fixing these. The other thing to notice is we've got a new webcam. No more pixelated, blurry crap. This is nice and fresh and shiny and looking good for a change. Unfortunately, of course, it does bring up the balding spots and all the rest of the highlights. It also reveals the very dingy back I've got, and I've just noticed that autofocus is on. I'm going to have to turn that off. Also today, the workstation machine, so what we're going to do is we're going to use this for my programming, and we're going to take the programming i5-8400 and we're going to turn that into the streaming machine. So hopefully once we've got that done, we'll finally be able to do 1080p recordings. Maybe even 60 frames per second, I'm not sure, we'll have to see. Today's been pretty interesting. We had an iPhone 7 in. Now, I don't normally do iPhone 7s, and this one was a desperate last-minute situation. Well, it wasn't actually last minute. It was a desperate situation. They tried everyone else. No one else was interested. It was supposedly brand new. And it was not brand new. Now, I tried to do a video of this, but unfortunately things didn't work out. But I'll show you what the damage is. So this thing came in, and it was, as soon as I opened it up, I could see it was definitely not brand new by even close to, well, big dreaming if they thought that was going to be brand new. You see it's got physical damage here, and okay, that fluff's on me. That's my fault. I've already ultrasonic this. You can see there's like liquid damage there, and damage up here, and what else was there? Yeah, and the bottom peel off shields, they were all gone. It was actually just bare. I've put the Captain tape on, and there was liquid damage all through here. You can see these caps are a little bit damaged as well. And let's see, this chip here had a fair bit of corrosion around it. You can see up there. It was a real mess. Definitely not brand new. And more damage overall. I don't know what was going on, but anyway, it was a boot looper, and they needed the data off, and they tried everything else. Holy crap! Well, that just came off. No problem, because I've already got the data off. I'm just recounting. Oh, that didn't last on there for long. But what the true fault ended up being, at least predominantly that I could see, was this little resistor here had been completely knocked off. So I'm suspecting that someone came in with some sort of spudger or whatever and tried to take that connector out, somehow knocked that off, and that's one of the I2C pull-ups. So everything just sort of kept boot looping. Once I put that in place, I've finally got a boot, but then about 2-3 minutes into the boot, I could start to smell smoke and burning, and the iPhone kept coming up saying overheating. And what was happening is this speaker boost inductor was just cooking up a storm. It burst out, cracked and everything. You can see the thermal damage it's done there, and see how it got hot. And over on the side here, you can see was starting to spit balls out everywhere. So I got real lucky that I'd smelt that, and that the screen came up telling me that things were getting too hot. I broke off this top section of the inductor and just ripped it out so that there was no conductivity between the two sides. Obviously I didn't get a speaker anymore, but whoop-de-doo, no one cares when you're trying to get data. Anyway, after all that, connected it up. It was lucky, got the data. There was no passcode on the phone, thank goodness for that. And another saved phone, so this one's definitely never going to go back into production again. I mean, look at this, look at the damage that someone's done, pushing the connectors in the wrong way, and the junk all over the place. That there is also rusted a bit, but it's just amazing that someone thought this was brand new, and it was very, very far from it. My initial thought was that it was going to be one of these little fellows here, but no, it wasn't. It was ended up still being an I2C line, or was it? Yeah, it was one of those lines. But yeah, it just wasn't where I thought it was going to be. Anyway, so that was the iPhone 7. That's my first ever data recovery for an iPhone 7. I'm quite happy about that. And I was lucky enough that I managed to pick up a bent and broken iPhone 7 for about 50 Australian bucks. And turns out that it wasn't too badly damaged inside. I was able to fix it up, and it's 128 gigs and it's iCloud unlocked, so big win there. Not sure if I'm going to use it because I still like my 6S Plus. Going to be hard to give that one up. Alright, enough waffling. Let's get on with the 1466. Yeah, okay, so the keyboard backlight's a mess. Keyboard is a mess. That could be causing the issues with the powering on and off. Alright, oh, yuck. Okay, we've got a bit of work ahead of us. If we're lucky, it might not be too severe. Ah, great, yep, that's the PCH 105, I think. So that almost always gets messed up. What the heck is this? It looks like someone sneezed in there and it's gone all dry. Man, I haven't seen something like that since my last cold. Yeah, interesting. And what is the deal? I see so many of these little purple or reflective glitter hexagonal cutout things. Almost every machine I look at, I find them. What is the deal with that? Now, from the other side it looked just like it was going to be water. From this side it looks like something far worse. Hello, backlight. Yes, you're perfectly good and fine. I guess, once again, instead of having to use our brains, we are just simply going to go right ahead and flux and boil. Put our heat mat down and let's get to work. Let's work left to right. Hopefully the fume hood has got enough drawing power. Because like I say, I haven't got my ducting set up yet. I need to put aside an hour or two tomorrow or sometime and build myself a proper ducting for the fume hood. Something to just focus the draw a little closer to my direction. I mean, it seems to be doing a pretty good job now. But I like to have more than just a good enough. I like to have also covering myself for just for any large bursts of smoke that might come up. Well, there's another one of those purple glitter things. As I have no idea what they're coming from, but I find them in so many machines. And it's not from my place, I can tell you that much. Have to be careful with these. We don't want to go melting these connectors. Now, while they may have corrosion in them, we certainly want to hope that we can just restore them rather than have to replace them, because believe me, replacing these connectors is no fun at all. Usually because just when you think you got one set up, the other one melts, and while you're focusing, say, on this one, the hot air blast off the side catches out the other one. It's no fun at all, really. And it's just starting to get to melty point there. Back off. Now, I know it's going to be frowned upon, but I don't think at this point that this service connector needs to go. I will just warm it up a little, give it the boil, but I'm not going to give it its death warrant yet. I'll be able to tell better if it comes out of the ultrasonic and I can see what's going on inside. Probably going to be a good idea to replace this and the HS PCH switch, which is this and that cap, and I'm probably going to replace that. This actually is the all power sissel blah 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 blah. This is the sissel. I can't speak tonight, too late. Junk in here. I'm just going around and testing to see if anything freely comes off. I'm not pushing too hard, but certainly enough if the pad has been corroded out like that. That just moved, see that? And we know we've got a bit of a problem. Don't know if I'm going to be able to completely gesser that. Yeah, there we go, we gessered it. Best we replace that before we forget what we did. We give the donor a bit of flux just to help it come off the board a bit easier, a bit quicker. Because remember, this is leaded solder, lead-free solder that we're dealing with here. Alright, let's continue on with our merry little adventure and try and find the next dud. Yeah, this one's staying on, but I don't know if I trust him. Now, if you got one that's staying on but you don't quite trust, then you can hit it with the soldering iron, try and liven up its pads, and sometimes they'll reveal their true nature. It's certainly not looking very healthy. That side's okay. This side... I vote we get rid of it. Okay, this one here we definitely want to get rid of. I'm going to just take out all of it in one hit. Actually, that resistor looks like it should be okay, but this cap and the chip itself, definitely that hair. Yeah, the cap, see the pad's not there? Yeah, that chip might have been okay. Let's have a look. Oh, you weren't too bad actually. Yeah, I'm going to replace you anyway. I mean, look, you can see all the junk that was under there, so it's understandable that I would choose to get rid of it. Because while physically the chip might be fine, you don't know what sort of damage electrically it took. Alright, let's go get our donors. Oh dear, donor not there. Let's have a look. Hopefully this one, oh, you are pretty beaten up. But hopefully, functionally, you should be okay. Yeah, we'll take the cap first. Even if the chip was fine, all the pads here are just messed up. And you decide to jump off for the ride. I have to try and remember where you belong. Get this pad back. Okay, looking good. Clean up the end caps on these. Gives us a good opportunity to also test to see if they're intact or whether they're just lying about their dedication to staying on the board. Not sure I believe this one here. Yeah, that's coming off. This one here is coming off. And look, another purple thingamajig. That one there seems okay. You're okay. Try and decide about this cap up here. Yeah, let's just remove it. It feels somewhat welded. There we go. I need to get rid of this one as well. And we can see very clearly that the pad there was greyed out. It's good, came back nicely. Now we do have to find out where this part belongs. It may belong just up one set of pads there, or I don't know. So let's go have a look. And I'm fairly sure it's this one up here. There we go. Safely back at home. Let's replace this now. Alright, we need to put back those parts that we knocked off, the deliberately knocked off ones. So we've got this one down here, and there was one of them up there. So we'll go to the bottom one. Yep, I forgot the flux. It's a capacitor and then we're done. Okay, that's that area cleared up. Now this one here, I think this is our last section for now. Let's see if that cat wants to move. Maybe I might actually just leave this one. No, take it off. It's an important one. And it was actually perfectly okay. Let's see if we can get that to sit back down a little better. Okay. I was really worried there was going to be corrosion undercutting the tracks there like with the other parts, but it did seem okay. Alright, it's probably cooled down enough now that we can try to see if we could at the very least get a fan spin. Now this is a 1466 00165, so theoretically it should just spin and that's it. There won't be the stop start stuff. Fairly sure that's limited to the 3437 and a couple of others, but certainly not the 165. Hopefully we don't get any smoke. We didn't even get a green light because we're not on. Switch on. Switch on. No green light. Oh, why? Come on. Give me green light. Alrighty. Now we have to start using brain. See what our PP bus is. 8.58. So we do have SMC. We've got 3v3 RTC. So do we have SMC on off L? Ah, my finger just made that spin. I got excited. SMC on off L. We do. Let's see, PM sleep S4L. Oh well, we've got 3.3, so we do have S4L, so that's good. Although that is problematic in other ways. Alright, naturally I didn't have my microscope on while I was checking this, but yeah, that resistor there just came loose under the test, and we've got some test pads that are a little less than honourable. So I'm not sure what this one does. Let's go have a look. Let's see, I know it's upside down relative to the thing, but I'm pretty sure that's it. 5 ESO, VMON 5. Okay, yeah, so if that wasn't working, that would prevent things coming up good. Let's fix that up. May as well check the others while we're here. That one there looks a bit sus. This is all the syspower good stuff. So yes, if there are issues here, then it will prevent it turning on. The end cap looks like it could do with a little more work. I think that's because that's the 5VSO side. A bit more of a heat drain. It didn't quite melt right with the hot air. Alrighty. Alright, let's give that another shot. Why aren't you fan spinning? Come on. Fan spin. Let's make sure the DC inboard's okay. And the fan for that matter. Still no fan spin. Alright, let's see if we got all syspower good. All syspower good should be the N pin there. Pin 4. And we do not appear to have all syspower good. Alright, let's see if we got... Well, no voltage there. Do we have voltage here? No voltage there. Do we have voltage here? Nothing. Where are you? Nothing. Alright, that there is the S3V3SO. So we do not appear to have 3V3SO. That should be right there. Oh wait, no, I lied. We got 3V3SO there. We don't appear to have anything there. Do we have anything there? Diddly squat. Well, we're getting 3v3 there, but we're not getting anything there. Does that mean the resistor's dead? Unfortunately, I can't show the values on screen because at the moment things just aren't set up. Well, we've got an 18K on that. Okay, we've got something slightly interesting here. If we now, it could just be my meter and the probes and all that, but if we measure this resistor, it's great. Ignore all that. The resistors are fine. Okay, so I'm going to replace the chip because it seems like that could be pulling down the ground. Because even when I'm getting 3 volts in, it's still showing up as 0 on the chip side. And there's really nothing else on that line from going from there to there other than this little bit here, and I don't think that's shorting it to ground. So we're just going to get rid of this. Let's see how we go. Actually, you know what I should do? Do a diode mode test. Let's see what the resistance of ground is. Oh, sorry, the diode mode of ground is. It'll be a little weird because I'll just hot. We're showing open circuit. Lovely. Open circuit. .3 open. That doesn't make any sense. Oh, actually no, it does. Ignore me. I still can't make heads and tails of it, so I'm just going to replace the chip. Oh, wait for that to cool down. Let's have a look around. See if we missed something obvious. Could still be this troublemaker. As I said in the past, I have had that fail quite a few times. Could be a bad BIOS. Although usually bad BIOS manifests differently. Usually you get fan spin and activity, but you just... nothing else. Somewhat tempted to throw this in the ultrasonic because I'm a little worried there may be some sort of surface corrosion causing the lines to be held in funny ways. That there looks pretty nasty. It seems sturdy, but we may end up replacing that. I'm not sure what that's for. We'll go have a look. No, that's just LCD power sensor enable. So while important, it's not what we're after. Oh, still no good. Suppose we should check our lid sensor. 3.4. It's not the lid. We're out of the ultrasonic cleaner. Now what we're going to look for are parts that may have dislodged or become notably unhappy with their pads. Okie dokie, after much stuffing around, I just don't trust this resistor. I get a resistance, it just, yeah, I don't seem to have a short to ground there, but I also don't get any voltage coming through, but I do get a resistance measurement, so I'm really confused, so I'm just going to get rid of it. Grab our donor one. Either that or I've got a break in the track, so I don't know, it's... or something shorting, so I don't know. There we go, tainting up our nice board with just enough flux to do the job. And then I wonder, where the hell did that resistor go? Where did that resistor go? Oh, come on. Did I suck it up in the flux? There it is. Hello. The flux trying to steal my resistors. Alrighty. Let's see if we get a fan spin now. I have a feeling, well, I don't know why that resistor was misbehaving. Like I said, it tested out resistance mode and a few other modes, but it just still wasn't quite right. Hey, we got a fan spin. Okay, well, to be fair, that's a step 1 win. We now have to put it back in the board and verify that it actually works. So here we go. This is with a full solid state setup. Spin. Bong. Apple logo. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Let's get all the way to the end. Aha! We have a win. Well, there we have it. It took a little while longer than what I thought it was going to, but it looked like we had 2 different sets of corrosion damage, or 2 different liquid damage situations going on there. But most of the time seemed to be wasted on that Allsys Power Good sense line coming in. Even though that resistor looked like it was good, even though I could measure the continuity on it with resistance, it measured up properly, it ended up being faulty. So it goes to show that sometimes you need to make multiple measurements, and if it just doesn't seem like it's truly convincing you, then just replace it. So there are probably a lot of parts there that we didn't have to replace, but I prefer to fall on the safer side and go through and change the things that I think, you know, this probably could do with replacing, particularly if it's been undercut by corrosion from the pads. Alright, we're going to leave it at that. And as always, I appreciate very much that you stuck around to watch what was going on. Always appreciate it if you can like, share and subscribe. That helps me in so many ways. And until the next one, I'll see you later.